Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU According to CT. That is Government of National Unity. Thank goodness that the Med Lemon worked because I don't have flu. I'm flu free. I'm flu free, guys. If you ever catch a cold, don't forget to go to Med Lemon, not sponsored. Anyways, guys, let's get to this video. Let's be brutally honest. We say Nigerians, they lack accountability, which is true. Those guys, if you put the word accountability in front of them, they jump like cockroaches the moment you switch on the light at night. They run and they will come back once it's dark and they attack you like mosquitoes and bad rash. They will be all over you, all because they're running away from taking accountability. How dare you tell them to take accountability? All they want to do is to be parasites and all that stuff that they are, and they run away from their problems. I don't even think they know that running away is not going to fix the issue. But the most irresponsible Africans on the African continent is the Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans are the most irresponsible. And it's funny how some of us, when we grew up, we were told that Zimbabweans are the most smartest, the most educated people on the African continent. Yeah, probably that was true during the days of Rhodesia and the early days, or maybe the first, let's say, 20 years of Mugabe's ruling in Zimbabwe, because it's true. Zimbabwe was the most educated. I think they had almost like 100% educated nation on the African continent. These are the Zimbabweans. Up until somewhere, somehow, Mugabe went haywires, and which is understandable why he went haywires, because apparently, when they gained independence from the Brits and fought, I don't know whether it's Ian Smith or whatever. I'm not quite sure what the history is, but I'm just gonna put together what I remember, because I was watching in awe in 1999 or 2001, I can't remember, but how white people were being thrown out of Zimbabwe because the people of Zimbabwe wanted their land back. And they got the land because every white person was kicked out of Zimbabwe. Just like if you go to Nigeria, every white person was kicked out in the 1960s or 1970s. All of them were kicked out of Nigeria. And same goes in Uganda. Indians, white people, anybody that was not black in Uganda were kicked out. And same everywhere else except for South Africa, Namibia, as well as Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. Which other country as well that still has a lot of white people on the African continent? But the ones that I can think of is South Africa, Kenya, as well, and Zimbabwe used to. Now all of them kicked out, and then they went for land. Fine. There's no problem in asking for what belongs to you, but how about you take the same path as South Africans took and say, listen, let's devise a plan on how we can coexist and benefit from the soil of Zimbabwe. But no. Now, where I say they are the most irresponsible people, the moment they got their land and shit hit the fan, guess what they did? Instead of staying back and learning about agriculture and also connecting with these, what do you call this? These markets that the white people were selling these produces to, no, they were eating the profit. And then when the profit was finished, they had no idea where to get the grain. They didn't know how to feed the animals. They didn't know how to nurse the animals whenever there was some disease. They just didn't know anything. Everything was finished and done. And the next best thing was to cross the Limpopo River, which is infested with crocodiles, and came to South Africa. Self-inflicted injury. And the moment you say that to a Zimbabwean, you are insulting them. And they come like a bad rash all over you and attack for something that is a fact. It's a fact that Zimbabweans are the most irresponsible Africans on the African continent, because they the ones who were like, go. They were violent. I mean, here's a video, and this video I took it from Lillian Kacha. She's a Kenyan YouTuber that also holding Africans accountable for what they are doing to South Africa. I love that girl very, very much. And please do subscribe to her channel. It is Lillian Kacha, spelled the Kacha, Chacha. All right, that's her YouTube channel. And I abstracted this video from her yesterday's video, just to remind the Zimbabweans how irresponsible they are. Here we go.
There was a time when the country of Zimbabwe represented the hopes and the aspirations of the entire African continent. It was rich in natural resources, it had democratic institutions, and blacks and whites lived together in relative prosperity. The credit went to Robert Mugabe, the only president Zimbabwe has ever had. He came to power 20 years ago after waging a successful guerrilla war against what was then the white-ruled former British colony of Rhodesia. With independence, he preached conciliation and convinced many whites to stay on and participate in a new democracy. But this past year, things have gone terribly wrong in Zimbabwe. For the first time, President Mugabe is facing tough political opposition, and he has reacted by declaring war on the whites he once courted and on thousands of blacks whose only crime has been to support the political party challenging him. What was once the most promising democracy in Africa is now on the verge of economic collapse and political anarchy. This is what's going on in the countryside today. These scenes were captured by a cameraman for British television. White-owned farms and their black farm workers' houses are being seized and destroyed in a government-sanctioned campaign of racial. Mugabe says the war veterans are former soldiers in the war for independence who have become impatient and decided to take back the land that is theirs by birthright. But most of them are too young to have ever fought in the war, and it's widely recognized that their numbers are made up largely of jobless youths, officers from Central Intelligence, and paid volunteers for Mugabe's political party.
Now, this is what they are telling us to do here in South Africa. The same Zimbabweans. They say, oh, South Africans, you have slave mentality. Hey, South Africans, they are having a colonial traumatization. Hey, South Africans, they are welled down by white people. Hey, South Africa, it is developed by white people. It's not black South Africans. These are the same irresponsible Zimbabweans. And some of them even go as far as, why don't you kick them out? How did that work for you? How kicking white people out of Zimbabwe worked for you? And I'm not saying the reason why South Africa is the way it is because of white people. No. Black people are just involved in the development of South Africa, whether you guys like it or not. And you see it. That is why you ran away and came here. Because you came to these black South Africans who have been holding this country down since 1999. We built cities, we've built houses, we are developing our country economically, and that is why you are here. That is why you are here. Because you cannot say, kick out the white people, and then when you come to the same country with white people. That doesn't make sense. It makes sense. Not at all. You are telling us to do what you guys did to white people in Zimbabwe. And we are telling you that no, we took a path of God, the very nature of God, which is love and forgiveness. And then we said, let's work together in building South Africa. Some, that's exactly what they are doing along with us. Some, they decided, no, we are not going to do that. Now, if they are going to commit crimes against us because they think they are superior, guess where they are at? They are rotting in jail. The ones that some of y'all throw at us, some white people who fed black people pigs, where are they right now? Do you think they're roaming the streets of South Africa? No, they are in jail. They are denied bail. They are going to be prosecuted and convicted, and they will rot in jail. That is our country's rule of law. You can never get away with it. Even if you accidentally drive over somebody and they pass on, you will still be found guilty of culpable homicide, and you will still go to jail for the number of years that you are going to be convicted for. Why? Because you took somebody's life. So you guys, I understand that some of the things are a culture shock to you, especially let's go a little bit to the west of Africa, particularly the Nigerians. Nigerians, I don't know how they are wired. Clearly, their wires are crossed because South Africa is a democracy, a constitutional democracy, where transparency is part and parcel of the principle of democracy, where South Africa has to and must report on crime stats. I looked for Nigerian crime stats everywhere. Non-existent. Non-existent. They do not report to its nation what is the crime rate of Nigeria, whether it's up or down. But you know what's also interesting, and this is scientifically doesn't make sense. South Africa has 60 million population, or the population of South Africa is 60 million people, and the population of Nigeria is over 200 million, 260 to be specific million. And then you were telling me in South Africa we had the highest crime rate with 60 million people versus 260 million. The reason why Nigeria doesn't even feature is because they don't keep records. Right now, there's ritual killing. There are serial killers that are kidnapping women, and then they take their parts for ritual purposes. Serial, mind you, serial. The last time South Africa had a serial killer was probably in the mid 2000s. The last time we had a serial killer. But right now in Nigeria, they are having that, but it's not being recorded and also not reported back to them. So now, because of South Africa's transparency, there are things that are happening in our country and they get reported, and then they take what is reported as if it's something they went and researched because it's hidden, like how they hide things in their own country, and they make videos and say, look, a whole police officer in South Africa has killed 6 people. It's reported on South African news because it is transparency. It's not something that you dug or researched because we are hiding it and now you are exposing it. Make it make sense how you guys think. Now let's go back to the Zimbabweans that are irresponsible. I know they're going to be in the comment section. It's like a clockwork how they come and attack you on facts simply because they don't want to go back home, the same home that they destroyed themselves. You destroyed Zimbabwe yourselves, and now you don't want to be held accountable for it. No, accountable. You don't want to be held responsible for it. And as a result, you cross the Limpopo River, risking your lives with those crocodiles. And then when it is brought to your attention, you are on a defensive, you are insulting, you go even as far as saying that we are lazy. Look at you now at the border gates. Look at you. Look at you. Take a responsibility there.
This is reporting it foot and mouth. Foot and mouth, goodbye. Foot and mouth.
All of those people want to come inside South Africa because they messed up their country in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. And now they want us to do the same thing. They got the land that they wanted. They have the land that they wanted, but they still have the audacity to say, oh, black South Africans don't own land. The land is owned by white people. You now own land in Zimbabwe. Why aren't you there developing it? Why aren't you there, what's the word that I'm looking, cultivating it? At one point, Zimbabwe used to be the food basket of Africa. Its wealth was built on the fertile soil of Zimbabwe. Not only the fertile soil of Zimbabwe, also the mineral resources that are underground to this very day. But no, they started creating laws that are draconian, that no country in the world will do business with Zimbabwe. And because they kicked out white people, and I will say it again without shame, South Africa is part of the global village. In the global village, just like Zimbabwe used to be part of the global village at one point, if you are part of the global village and you cause or you commit what you would call human rights violation, or you create or you commit atrocities against humanity, the world is going to punish you by sanctioning you. So now they want us to be in the same position as Zimbabwe, get sanctioned because we are kicking out white people. We will get sanctioned. We will, within a week, will be in the same position as Zimbabwe. Why? Because the global village says we all need to live together in harmony. Yes, there are powerful nations out there economically that we trade with. And the moment you kick one race out or one tribe out, they will all come tumbling down on you. So this is what they want for South Africa, these guys. They desperately want that. They hate to see South Africa succeeding over their own countries because of stupid decisions that they've taken, uncalculated decisions that they've taken, and they want us to do the very same thing. And it's not going to happen. Zimbabweans, that is not going to happen. I'm letting you know now. You can huff and puff and say whatever you want to say about South Africans. You are here because you messed up your country, and you need to take responsibility for that by going back and fixing what you had destroyed. It's not going to fix itself. You have vast lands in your country, fertile soil, all sitting there, looking dilapidated as if ghosts live there. So go back home and start fixing things, even if it means call back the white people that ran away to Zambia and started farming, and Zambia's agriculture is thriving because of the Zimbabweans that you threw. You threw out. They ran away to Zimbabwe. Some of them ran away to South Africa. Some are in England, Australia, Uganda, everywhere. Call them back. Sit down. Talk about things. Negotiate things. Compromise on things. And let Zimbabwe once again rise up to its old glory. The world was looking at Zimbabwe. Even us here, I remember back in the day when you look at the, what do you call these things? Business indicators or currency indicators. The Zimbabwean dollar used to be above South African rand. Just like it was, I remember very well, it used to be the Botswanian pula and then the Zimbabwean rand. By building it back to its old glory self. That's what you need to do. Take responsibility. Just like Nigerians need to take accountability for the mess their country is. Seriously. Just seriously. I mean, these two videos, by the way, the other video, I got it from Sis Paul of Truth Builds. Please subscribe to her channel. I did say in the past, please subscribe to her channel as well. She's doing an amazing job there, holding people that are in South Africa illegally accountable. Like, hold yourselves accountable. And she's now also now talking about us South Africans, which I agree that we too must take accountability for letting things happen the way they happened to us. We got to take accountability for that. We can't run away. But today's video was about
Zimbabweans have jumped the
Zimbabweans
border in recent years,
because they
seeking
are
a better
the
life
second
south of the
loudest
Limpopo River.
nation. You know how they say
South
an
Africa
empty
offered
tin makes
amnesty
the
to many
loudest
immigrants,
noise?
a chance
Yeah,
to legalize their
it's the
stay if they
Nigerians
came forward.
and the Zimbabweans.
But that offer
And
expired
then
in
you
July
ask
last
yourself,
year.
why is
And
it
now many
that when you
Zimbabweans are
ask
being rounded
people,
up, held at
which
deportation
two nations
centers
on the
like this
African
one,
continent
and then
that you
driven
do
back
not want to
across the
associate
border.
yourself with? These two
Zimbabwean
always pop
police
up.
at Beitbridge say
And I always
an
feel
average
bad for
3
the
to
good ones
400 are
because
deported
there's
every
always
day.
good people, but then
Though
being good
officials
does
there
not
estimate
mean
around
that you
40%
still
go
need to be
back
in
to
South
South
Africa
Africa.
instead of being home
They've
fixing your
stepped up
country.
patrols
I
with
understand
South
when you're a
African
student,
police.
because that's
But
beyond
there
your
are more than
control. You are
200
here
illegal
to
crossing
shape
points
your
along the
future
Limpopo River,
so that
stretching
you can
over
become something and
300
then go back
kilometers.
home to contribute what you've learned abroad. That's it. Running away is not going to solve things. Zimbabwe is not going to grow legs, grow eyes, grow brain, and then fixes itself. Because if somebody had to come up from somewhere else and say, okay, Zimbabwe, I'm here to take over, but I'm president for life, you're all going to jump. And this person has great ideas. You're all going to resist that person. So go and resist ZANU PF. ZANU PF is destroying you guys. You need to accept that truth. Get it out of the way. It failed you. It destroyed you. It finished your country, ZANU PF. Come on, guys. Take accountability and responsibility for your mess. You created this mess. And we are not going to do that. We're not going to do it as South Africans. Continue huffing and puffing. It's not going to happen. Period.